Hello everyone and welcome. I hope you've all had a great weekend and you're now ready to take on the challenges and gifts that this week has to offer. This is your weekly reading for Tuesday the 10th of October, so we can now see what energies are with us and hopefully gain some insight into how we can best accept and prepare for what waits us in the days ahead. And I'll be using the After Tarot deck again this week. So looking at our reading, we have the Nine of Wands, and next we have Judgment with the Higher Self, and our last card is the Eight of Discs. So when we look at the Nine of Wands, this is portraying a warrior type here, and he's leaning on his wand and looking over his shoulder. So he's cautious right now. You can see he's also wearing a bandage, so he's a bit war weary. He looks suspiciously at his counterpart here, and both parties really don't seem to be trusting each other or willing for that matter to budge from their position. So this is a message of persistence and strength and tenacity, and really just standing your ground. You may feel a little beat up, and you may feel weary and tired of having to defend your position. But the message here is that you're very close to the end game of whatever situation is really taking precedence in your life. So whatever it is that is taking up your time and energy, you're actually very close to completion. This is implied by the number 9 here, and you really need to stay strong and don't give up, because now's really not the time to quit. Yes, you may feel exhausted at the thought of having to go through that being on guard and that waiting for what's coming your way. But if you can hang on in there, rest assured you will come out wiser and stronger than you were before. This period of time will give you a wealth of experience that you'll be able to draw upon in the future when a similar situation arises. In the background, he's enclosed himself off with the wands, and this would represent an accumulation of past experiences. These seem to be really dug in and set, so it's like he's gated himself off to a degree and is now in a defensive position. The warning here is try not to assume that you know what will come next. You may have suspicions and doubts, and you may think you know what the likely outcome is going to be because you've probably experienced something similar before. If you stay rigid in your position and you don't allow for flexibility around your assumptions or beliefs, then you could possibly create what is known as a self-fulfilling prophecy. We don't want to do that. We want our thoughts to propel us to greater things and to guide us. So yes, you need to be cautious and guarded. For sure, you've gotten to this place with a lot of hard work, and you've fought hard to get to this position and this place of security and apparent safety. Just try and hang on in there and push through to the end of this cycle. Use your thoughts to think out of the box you're currently in and start to think where it is you need to go next. Now we have Judgment, and this card is about rebirth, it's about rejuvenation, and it's the card just before the world, number 21, when the Fool gets to the end of its journey. So you'll have a chance this week for a mental and emotional assessment of your past. You'll be able to see clearly where you currently are in life, and you'll be able to perceive where you could be in the future. Judgment is the key word here. You will have the chance to view and judge your past works and actions objectively. You're looking now to improve your life, and you're asking, have I lived up to my highest potential? Have I lived the life I wanted to live, or have I just done what was expected of me? If this is the case, then what can I do right now to get there? This is your personal reckoning, and it's an opportunity for rebirth. The angel, or the higher self, is raising the dead and calling you to judgment. And you can see in the imagery the people coming out of the coffins and rising into the air. And this is you. This is you seeing the past and that which you no longer wish to repeat or continue, and then choosing to raise up to the Most High within you and aspire for those greater things. You're asked to try and find a sense of balance now. This is illustrated in the quartered flag of the angel. So if you've been feeling out of sorts, and you know for a fact that your path isn't lining up with your divine will, let's say, then the angel or your higher self is calling you to raise up out of that old shell and be willing to leave the dead bones of the past behind. So this is coming to the end of a cycle again, We are one card away from the world. This is a calling to analyze your life and to look at your job or whatever you do for a living, to look at your relationships, to analyze your emotions and try and figure out what is no longer useful, what doesn't serve you anymore, and what is holding you back. What is it you want to achieve? And what is it you truly want to feel? This is positive movement. Your highest virtues are coming into the forefront now. So, be honest with yourself and accountable for your actions. Life cannot stay as it is, and change is unavoidable. If you can, try and find some quiet space to sit down and be still with your thoughts. A life review this week is a chance to tune into your higher calling. During this time, pay attention to those big ideas you experience. They're not impossible dreams. This is your potential. Learn where it is you need to go next. Learn what you need to do in the present moment, and trust that you will be guided along the way by your higher self. Next we have the Eight of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is someone who finds great pride in their work, and they find work enjoyable and interesting and fulfilling. This person puts their heart and their head firmly into what they're doing, and they're always readily looking to improve their skills, whether that's through practice or study or mentoring. This card's like the path or the desire and willingness to do whatever it takes to become a true master of your trade. Now, financially, you may not be exactly where you want to be, but you will eventually get there because you're on the path to becoming your own best version in what you do. Whenever I look at this card, it reminds me of those master craftsmen and carpenters and those sculptors who have that diligence and patience and fortitude to really be one with their craft and to give it everything they've got. What initially seems like complicated work and impossible details to the layman sort of becomes second nature to this person. All painstaking details and all impossibilities really only bring out the best in this person. With the Eight of Pentacles, you're really setting your ground and doing what you love to the extent that you can eventually become a master of this field. So enjoy your work, and know that to become the best at any given field, you really need to look at the long game. You need that vision and that desire to do what needs to be done every single day. You will slowly improve and gain confidence over time. If you chose this card and you don't feel exactly like your work reflects your highest aspirations, then following the Judgment card, you too could look to review and assess where you are at present, and whether this is the path that will lead you to what you feel it is you truly came here to do. So I hope that you find this insight helpful for the week, and if you do, please like, and if you're new here, then please subscribe. It's been an honour reading for you all again, and I'll see you next for your weekend reading. Thanks again, and I hope you all have a great week.